Budget titles are a staple of many modern game consoles. Developers churn out a title with a low price point and low production values to keep costs down, and they are still within the chance of making a tidy profit when the end of the tax year arrives. Modern consoles have their fair share of shovelware, but you didn't really see many of them on the Nintendo 64. Now that's not to say you didn't get crap games, far from it, but often they were games which had grand ambitions but instead turned out garbage, rather than intending to be a quick pot of gold for the developer. Developed by GameTek and published by Take-Two Interactive, the game was the last throw of the dice for GameTek, who were on the verge of bankruptcy by this point due to the ongoing saga of developing Robotech for the N64. And in a shameless self-plug, check out my N64 beta project episode of Robotech for the lowdown on that failed title. Development of Wheel of Fortune actually started as a Sega CD and a Panasonic 3DO title, but after both titles were cancelled by GameTek, they needed a quick cash injection, and instantly saw a way to spend a little time tweaking the code to work on the N64 for a game which was already nearly completed. Landing on store shelves in late 1997, Wheel of Fortune brings the fun of the game show to the console with some mixed results. Wheel of Fortune as a game is perhaps one of the easiest to explain because basically it mimics a TV show which most people across YouTube and the internet will have seen at some point in their lives. This version features American host Vanna White taking through the main gameplay where you'll compete against two others to become the overall game winner. Booting up the game brings you instantly into the feel of the TV show because the theme, stage and host are all as most of you would have remembered from your childhood. One thing that instantly caught my attention though was the fact that whilst the graphics are fairly rough looking, it features digitised video which makes it come across as a very early Sega CD title. After going into the options and tinkering with your number of players, the difficulty, the number of rounds and the AI of your opponents, you're straight into the game. Each round sees you play a word-based puzzle with an aim of spinning the wheel, using letters to try and uncover the puzzle, and when you think you've got the right answer, taking a guess at it. Once the correct answer has been given, it's on to the next round to repeat again. Quite simply, it's Wheel of Fortune in a video game form. The graphics in the game are also very rough looking, but they do have something of a charm to them. The digitised video, as previously mentioned, looks poor quality, but for a cart-based format I have seen worse, and even with the very limited frames of animation for the on-screen players, it's something that you can easily live with. The actual wheel, however, does a great job of replicating the real-life wheel, and the smooth motion and animation of it is surprisingly good. The camera in game whips and pans around fairly frequently in a television style presentation, and so it helps to add to the overall sense of speed in the game and also the intensity. With over 4,000 word puzzles, there's a good amount of gameplay to be had here, but for anyone outside of North America, some of the puzzles are very specific to the area, and so certain names of people or places will certainly leave you scratching your head. The AI too can be tweaked, but often sway somewhere between ridiculously stupid or mastermind level of knowledge. There's nothing more frustrating than finally getting the correct answer in your mind and having to sit through the AI endlessly selecting letters and then eventually guessing the right answer. Yes, it is frustrating, but I suppose it's all part of the game. And of course this could be completely different if you actually play the game with two other friends on your sofa. It's also worth noting that the audio in the game is nicely done. The main theme naturally sounds great, and the speech is mostly limited to the host, but your chosen player will also vocally say commands and letters in a heavily compressed manner. The effects too all sound on point, and aside from the occasional muffled clicking sound from the wheel itself, there's nothing that takes you out of the overall TV style show presentation. There's not a whole lot more really to say about this title. If you're wanting something which you can play with non-gamers, then this is a great title that they could easily pick up and have some instant fun with. However, as a solo experience, it could still have some fun with the large number of word puzzles resulting in less repetition. There is a limit though to the amount of enjoyment you will get from this game, but perhaps what helped the game was its low recommended retail price. Being a budget title on the N64, when you'd rarely see anything priced below a brand new title, this low price point surely would have attracted some interested people. Not to mention the video game retail stores and even the rental stores, which could have had an income from this game for years as people picked it up as a casual play. Wheel of Fortune on the N64 is a casual romp into the campy glitz and glamour of the TV show with a well executed game engine, and with its only real competition on the console being Jeopardy, it's certainly one of the more unique games on the console, and I do recommend this over the previously mentioned title. And so for today's topic of conversation, I'd love to know what your favourite game show to video game adaptation has been on any system, and also your reasons for it. I personally always enjoyed Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the PlayStation, so let me know your favourites in the comment section down below, and until next time.